I'm recording this for some that are absent and they've requested a recording. So, what do we do for the Google Docs? I'm logged in here as Jay Smart, and I'm going to go to the other section in my courses. He's in section 2 as well. And jump down to the assignment section, and we'll look at word processing in the cloud. I have moved the due date just because in case we don't get it all done today, but I believe we should. In case you have any questions, submit it by Monday. Remember, when you see it due, that doesn't mean that's the day to start working on it. That's a bad way to plan your life. Just remember, it's due by then. So let's find out the instructions, which happen to be in a Google Doc. Word processing in the cloud. Click here. Let's see what happens. It takes me to, oh look, it looks like I'm over there at docs.google.com. And this is one of your wonderful things about Google Docs. I can see who else is viewing my document while it's in the cloud, even though they're not editing it. I see their cute little icons show up. Some of them show me who they are. Some of them have just an interesting this little icon there, but there we have various people viewing my document. Great way that you have that available in the cloud. Now, first of all, we need to log in now, and we want to create our own document. We could try to edit this document. No, I'm not going to give you edit access, but they would see an email in their email box. I'm going to go figure out how to create my own. It does give me little instructions. I need to be logged into my account at mail.google.com. Or another way to get there, I see people doing this, they go to Navigator and then they go to MAS email, and guess where that takes me to? mail.google.com. And since I was already logged in, my browser, in this case Firefox, remembers that I'm logged in already as JSmart. If I were using a different browser and then I went to mail.google.com, it would say, oh, you're not logged in on this browser, like Edge, and I could log in as somebody else on that browser. Remember, browsers remember your logins, and that's stored in your little browser memory, which is sometimes can be insecure. Like if you ever ask your browser to save your passwords, I'd say don't do it. That's another, maybe I should put that "Don't Do It" song. Don't have your browser save your passwords. You know why? There's a chance, although it's less of a chance, but there is a chance that someone can hack your browser and pull those passwords that your browser has saved. So it's best just to avoid that. Use a password manager rather than, oh, let your browser remember everything. Go to another computer. Oh, you have no clue. I got to go to my computer because it remembers all my logins and passwords. And someone else that can hack into your browser might be able to extract them. It's harder to do that, but there's a chance. So I'm logged in Firefox, and now I can go to my Google Drive that I have available to me as Jay Smart in his account. How do I get to the files? One way to get there is this little Google Apps grid, and under there we see the Drive grid. This is like your OneDrive that you have on office.com. I can manage my files that Google keeps for me. In a personal Gmail account, you have limited file space. On our Emmaus Gmail, what's called G Suites, it used to be called Google Apps for Education, we have unlimited file space. So with your Emmaus email and your Emmaus email drive, if I click on my drive, I see my files arranged there. I can save files there for backup or for sharing with my friends. I'm going to create a new folder here in my drive. I'm going to call it CS101. So I click New Folder. I'm going to call it CS101 FA24-Section 2. It doesn't matter to me what name you give your folder, but it's good to know that you can create folders, and I'm going to browse down into that by double clicking, and now I'm browsed down into that empty folder, and here's where I'm going to create this document just to be well organized. You could just create it in your My Drive if you wanted, but I'm just showing you that it's a good idea to make subfolders. And now when I click New, Google Docs, it will create a new document for me in the location where I was just browsed into. Now I have a document, and what should I put in here? Well, let's start typing. Let's put something like CS 101 Cloud Documents assignment. And the rest of the content, let's go back and read the instructions on Schoology. Well, it said go to that document. Here's that document. Log in. If you haven't changed your password, you should change your password. I've just done this site. I've created this new document, but I want to put these instructions into it. Easiest way to select everything and copy, Control A, Control C. Control A means select everything, Control C means copy it to my clipboard. And now I go to the document I just created, and Control V to paste it. They didn't choose Control P because that's way over on the right side. The V is right next to the C. And now I have those instructions pasted into my own version of that document. And now I have step 3 completed. And now there's just a few things to do as I work on this document. Insert a table of contents at the beginning of this document. How would I do that? Well, let's put it right here. So I'm going to click right there, and I'm going to leave a little space around it. So I'll hit space, and let's see. How do I insert a table of contents? Let's explore the insert. What's available here? Look at all the things I can insert. Image, table. No, not table of contents there. Drawing, chart, lines. Ooh, lots of things I can insert. Building block? No, it's not a building block. Special character? No. Watermark? No. Headers and footers, page numbers. Oh, there it is, all the way at the bottom. Table of contents. I can choose what style of table of contents. I'm going to choose the middle style. There's my lovely table of contents with dotted leads out to my page number. Nothing super fancy. Nice thing about this that I learn as I'm working with large documents, if I have things designated as headings or things designated as normal text, anything that's a heading, notice, will get listed in my table of contents. And we have a similar thing with Microsoft Word as well. But I'm working in the cloud, learning the cloud document interface. So I've got step 4 now, just by, remember I put my insertion point where I want it to show up, and then I use the insert tool. I could put my table of contents anywhere where my insertion point is. It usually makes sense to put it at the top. Now, we want to now put a citation to a special source. This is a cool feature. I haven't seen this in Word. Maybe it's there somewhere. I haven't discovered it. I'm going to double click on that number and Control C copy that. Now I want to find out how to use the citations tool. And I'm going to put a citation here. But let's see how I can add the source for a citation. So let's go. Where would that be? Well, it does mention the word tools. Let's look under the Tools tab. Look at that. There is a Citations tool. I click on that, and all it does is it opens up the Citations dialog over here, and it leaves it there until I want to close it. If I ever want to see it again, I can just go turn on my Citations tool, and here's where I want to add my citation source. So once I click on that, I can choose what type it is, choose what option. Oh, I want to find the print version of that book, and once I click that, then it gives me a place to enter the ISBN of that source. So just having the ISBN and then search, it actually finds the document that's available out there, published in 2019 by our dearly beloved David J. McLeod. And now I click continue, and now I have a citation listed in my set of citations. And I don't need to see that anymore. I could close my citation source. If I ever want to see that again, I can turn back on my citations tool, and it Oh, did I? Oh, I must not have clicked the insert button. Sorry, I missed a button to click. Let's try that again. Book or print ISBN, search, continue. There, I forgot to click the add citation source. That adds it to my list of citations that this document knows about. Now I can insert a citation. So that just made it a source in my list of sources. Now to actually put it into my document, like here, I put my insertion point there and select the source or hover over the source and oh, do I have to do I have to have text selected? Why it's not letting me highlight? Let's see. Add this. Why is that not showing up? I have my source. Cite. It's not letting me edit. Do I have to have text selected first? Let's try it. It's not letting me click cite. Why? What's going on here? Hover. Yeah, last time I didn't see that. Notice this is an irritating magical button that doesn't appear until you hover over the right place. Why is mine grayed out? Let's see here. I do have the source. Maybe let me edit the source. Happy with it. Happy with it. How about try this? Let me refresh. Maybe something went wrong. Let's see if I refresh and then try to add the source. So that here, tools, citations. There, look, now cite is available. Can't explain that. I refreshed. This is a little bug. I'm not sure why that happened. I refreshed and now the cite is available. Okay. There is my citation. And pretty slick, huh? I can add multiple sources. I don't have to even copy anything. I can just say, give me MLA, and then add a source, ISBN, boom, I'm done, and it's in my list, and I hover over to add the citation anywhere. Now, just to see how that works with Works Cited, well, let's go to the end of the document and see how we can get a Works Cited to be entered. So let's go way down here. There's my various content. Now let's put in Works Cited. Let's go. Oh, look at that. The Citations tool has Insert Works Cited button available to me. And click on that. And there's my Works Cited. So Google Docs. Now this is available in Word too. Word actually has more features in Word to do this as well. And we'll be seeing that on Word Project 2. You'll learn about all this. So nice little feature. And remember that Citations tool is going to sit there until I close it. And if I ever want to see it again, I can turn it on there. Let's see if I turn it off here. Does it toggle it? No, that doesn't toggle it. To remove it I'll get it out of the way. Just click that X. All right, so I have Works Cited, and now let's go back to here. Now we get into a little bit more of the features available to us. Another advantage of the cloud is I can share this document as a web page to anyone out there on the internet. And we're going to have it automatically republish if I ever make changes to this. Now, where would you think I would do that? Two places you can go. You'd think it'd be under here. Let's click Share. Here I can give it a share. Okay, it wants a name before you share it, and it matches the title that I gave it. I'm happy with that title, so I'll click Save a New Title. But notice when I want to share it, it wants to share it as a document. I want to share it as a web page. I'll come back to this. I will eventually share it as a document, but this isn't sharing it as a web page. So I'm going to click Done. Let's go to here. No, it's not there. Where could I save it as or share it as a web page? It's hiding over under File. You'd think it'd be here, but no, under File there is another share. There is the Publish to Web option. Little path to the Publish to Web, and now it gives me the chance to make it a published website. And let's see, publish content. Let's click Publish, and it says, are you sure? Yes. Once it's published, I can decide how to restrict my publishing. By default, it's not restricted. I could restrict someone who can see my website only to the people that are logged in to Emmaus Bible College. That's not checked by default. And this is checked by default, automatically republish any changes. If you don't want to publish changes until you're sure, you could say, I'm going to make changes. I'll come back here and click to republish changes. But I usually leave that on to automatically republish. And there's the link to it. Might as well click and copy that link while I'm here, Control-C copy, because I'm going to need that link later on.
Did you want us to restrict the access?
No. Just to know that that is an option for you. So it's unchecked. Yes?
Does this mean it's just opening it to anyone who has the
Yeah, yeah. Not opening the document, opening as a web page. So let's see what it looks like. I just copied the link, and I can close this by clicking cancel, even though I'm not canceling the publishing. To see what my page would look like, I can, after I've copied that link, I can start a new tab and paste it. Not that. I guess I didn't do the copy. Let's go back to my document, and let's paste, get that link again. Let's go to File, Share, Publish to Web, copy link. There we go. There, I had to have it selected. Now I do a Control-C copy. And now let's view it. And this is one thing that I do not like about Publish as a web page, the giant margins it puts in there for you. I have tried so many times to figure out, can I adjust the margins it creates when I publish it as a web page? I have not found a way. It wants to put in these giant margins. If I try to zoom in, I don't get margins. They just get, the margins get larger. So it's not as nice, but it is a nice way to publish a document. Notice that someone's viewing this. They can't do any editing. It's just a web page with this long, ugly URL. But that's easy enough to send it in an email to someone. Hey, see my document, share it as a web page. You can do this with Google Workbooks, and there are other documents. They can be shared as web pages. Remember, when it says shared as a web page, it's going to look different than the original document, especially the ugly margins. So we want to share it another way as well. So, but while we're here, we have it shared as a web page. We'll come back and put the link to our web page back in here. We want to now share the document. So we're going to share the document. That's where this share comes in handy, or underneath File, Share with Others. That takes me to the same dialog of, oh, I want someone to be able to see this as a Google document. And right now, and the default is to have it restricted. Let's change that. Even though the instructions said restricted to Emmaus, let's put that anyone with a link, just to make sure that Mr. Manning can see your document when he goes to grade your assignment. If you leave it restricted, like every year somebody does, I can't go see their homework, and I say, I can't tell what you did, 0 for the assignment. So be sure to share it. I will be logged into Emmaus Bible College. That will work. But just to be sure, you could share it with anyone with the link to make sure the grader can see your fine work. As you share it, notice you can give the viewer that you've given the link to, you can say anyone that I give a link to can view it. You could say, well, anyone that I give a link to can comment on my document. You don't have to put the comment in there, but that is your option. You can even share it as an editor by anyone that has a link. And when you're editing it together, just like when I viewed this document here, I see all the people accessing it. That would be the same thing with editors. You can actually see their insertion point as multiple people are working on one document, and you can see where they're editing and where you're editing live. Now, Microsoft Office.com does this as well, but Google did it first, and it may be a little more efficient, but people are realizing the advantages of collaborating in the cloud. You can be working on the same document anywhere in the world, remotely in your cabin, at that campsite, as long as you have internet access, out in the boat, and here you're working on the document, and the other person is in a cave somewhere, uncomfortable, where you're relaxed. Send them a picture of where you are, and make them jealous. Okay, so we've shared it, but I need to have a link to this file so I can show I know how to share it. So let's make sure I have a link to it. So I can click on Share here and do the copy link. Now I have a link in my clipboard. Now I can turn this into a link by selecting that text and then select the little chain right there. This lets me turn this into a link to this document. I paste the link right there and apply it. So I select the text, and there's a little chain right up here in the menu. See that little kind of circly looking guy? That's supposed to be a chain link. That turns the text that you had selected into a link. To view the link, I can click on that, and to actually go there, I click there, and now I'm viewing the file in two different tabs, the exact same file. So I'm going to close one tab. So that's a link you could send to your friends that you want to collaborate on. If you want to guarantee that only they can view it and they can't share the link to everyone else and everyone else comment, remember in your sharing options, you can decide who gets to be the commenter. You can restrict it to specific people you save, or you can restrict it to, well, anyone at Emmaus Bible College that's logged into their Emmaus.edu account on Google, or the entire world. Right now, we'll go ahead and leave it the entire world. If you leave it editor, that could be dangerous. So usually people either make it viewer or commenter. And then once you have that link, I think the link hasn't changed, even though I've changed my restrictions. But you can copy the link for sharing or turning it into a link right there. So that's a link to my file. Now, we've already saved it. We've already published it as a web page, but I'm going to go get the link to this as a web page now. How do I do that? I have to go over here because that's the only place where they let me see the publish to web link. I can always go back there and click that once. It's highlighted. Control C. Now I can paste that by turning this into a link. So I viewed the published as a web page. Click copy link. Control C. Close. Select this. This is going to now be a link to my web page. Select that text. Click the chain again. And now that should be a link to my document published as a web page. And I apply it. That turns into a link. This is the one with the ugly margins. I can click on this just to verify. Yep, there it is as a web page. So now you've learned some skills about just the collaboration, sharing a Google document. Now a little more fun here. Let's create a personal website. I could go to the grid. Let's see here. I don't have a grid under Google Docs. Under Google Drive, I do have the grid there, and that shows sites there. Under Gmail, I also have a grid there, and that shows me in that same menu, I can create a site under my Google Documents. Now, just to make sure the site gets created where I want, I'm over here in the Google Drive. I want to be sure that my sites file gets stored in this same folder in case I want to go back to it. So I'm going to go to my Google Drive in this folder and create a site now, and it will create a sites file in that Google Drive for me. And I can choose a template or start with a blank site. I'll let you choose. I'm going to choose a student portfolio just for fun. Yep.
Where is it in your drive? Under
A little grid. I created a folder CS101. You don't have to create a folder. You can just create it right there in your My Drive if you like. And then just the grid, sites, and that will create it there. And I chose the template. And let's see if in my drive now, let's see, I haven't published it yet. Let me put my name in here. I'll replace that placeholder with John Smart. John Smart. You're welcome to use any template or start with a blank one. And at the point when I publish, then I can choose my web address. See how it will be under the Emmaus EDU link? I'm going to call that John Smart. John Smart FA24. Just because John Smart does a lot of websites every CS101 section. I'm going to let anyone view my site from anywhere on the internet, so I'm going to change that to not restricted. I'm going to publish it publicly. Because I have not clicked the publish button yet or click done, it is not yet, the draft is restricted. I could let certain people actually edit my draft if I have multiple people working on my site. And these sites are decent looking that you could actually make this a site for your organization you work for your little church, for your little club, for your family. and give everyone in your family edit access if you trust everyone. And you can actually give it a decent URL with just a little more tweaking. So I made this publish site public. Now I click the done. That's what my site's address is going to look like.
Can you back up like
Yeah,
23 seconds?
sure.
You're amazing.
So I created the site. Anytime I go back to publish, oh, sorry, the publish settings, go back to my website. Oh, I lost my website. Go back to it. Oh, look at that. My sites file didn't show up there. That's interesting. Huh. So I created the site. I chose a template, put my name in there. Now I'm going to add a few things just for fun here, although in the templates you get lots of things already there. Let's see the different things I could add. Let's see. Let's add a text box. Okay. This is a test text box. Okay. Let's add an image. Oh, I get to select images that Google can find for me. Let's look for an image of, how about squirrels? See a lot of squirrels these days. No matching results. Squirrel singular. No, did I spell it wrong? Let's try Bible. Uh-oh, where am I looking? Am I looking in the wrong place? Oh, let's look at Google Images. There we go. Now we'll look for Bible. I didn't have any stored in my drive. Let's choose a picture of a Bible. Oh, there's an image. Let's try a content block and an example video. Yes.
Can we pick our own?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Pick anything you want. Play a little bit with it, and we don't have to spend a lot of time on this. This just shows you all the capabilities. Look at here. I can actually add to a block. I can add a YouTube link. And let's see, what could we find out on YouTube? Let's look at Professor Manning. Is there any crazy Professor Manning out there? Oh, lots of crazy Professor Mannings. Let's do Emmaus. There he is. Crazy. Oh, there's a little video. Let's see what that's about. There we go. Example video.
Is that you?
Let's see.
Winter Banquet 2022.
Yeah, we started here in November. So there you have video. You can embed a video of your choice there. Back to my site. And anything else here, what else? You can put in table. Okay, you can put a table of contents, an image carousel, dividers, spacers, social links. Look at all the things you can add. I add a calendar. I could share my calendar, insert. I could share a map. Let's put in a map to Emmaus Bible College. 2570 Asbury Road. Asbury Road. There we go. Dubuque, Iowa. And select. And there I have a map to my wonderful college. All these things you can do available to you. A chart of some sort. You can even have a link to your document in your website. I can have a spreadsheet. Don't worry about adding a ton of stuff. Play with it a little bit, and then I'm going to go ahead and give it this name. I'll put the name here. The name is John Smart. And let's go ahead and publish that now. Now I've created a site. I want to publish it. Let's click Publish. And it keeps track of previous versions. Let's go ahead and publish that new version. Now, how do I know what the link is to my website? Here's how I found. one way to try was in the publish settings to actually see the link to it. Oh, it's not there. Let's try this guy. There we go. View published site. This is I haven't seen an easier way, unless that would take me to the link. Oh, there we go. Copy published site link. I hadn't noticed that before. If I want to link to my site, just click on that, and that copies the link to my website. And it gives a decent URL, sitesgoogle.com, mass.edu, John Smart, and then /home. Copy the link. Now, back in my document, I can now put the link to my web page right here. Select this text, link to your personal website, select that text, click the chain, and paste the link to my personal website created, and click apply. And now, just to view it, I can click on that, make sure it takes me to my website. There it is, my website with some pictures and a cute video and a map to Emmaus Bible College.
Do we have to do like the maps myself?
No, just add a few things. You don't have to add all those things. Just to show you that all the things are available. As long as you have some sort of published site, I'm happy with it. With your name in it, so I know it's your site. Yes?
Where did you get the copy for the site that you just linked? You under Plug or under Share?
Oh yeah, let me show you. Back in the site, I'm going back to my site here. To get the link to their site, this little guy right here, if you hover over that, it says copy published site link. That gives you the link to your site, and you simply click copy link, and then you have your link. And that's a link you could send to all your family and friends. Say, hey, view my cool website I just created. And all you did was play around with Google Sites. So a very easy way. Now, the thing about Google Sites is there's 1,000 other places that give you free websites like this. This is convenient because it's right there in your Gmail or Google login. You don't have to have another login somewhere else. We trust Google is fairly stable. They have servers all over the world. Remember, when you publish a site, the files are copied to some server that's just a PC that's out on the internet, and it's in some server farm warehouse. They have multiple copies in various regions across the world that's synchronized all across. So it's a stable platform, and it's a good price. It's free. You can't customize it as much as if you did it completely from scratch and have a fancy website. But to have a website that just publish some interesting things, you could do a blog here. You could go to Blogspot and have a site, but then that's another site to worry about. Here you can keep it all in your Google Docs. And now that I've published it, let's see here. I thought it was going to show up here after I created my site. The other one did. See, when I did it, the previous section, my little site file showed up right there. I'm not sure why it doesn't show up for me right here when I created the site. Maybe it takes a while before it shows up, but I know it's there. It's published. Maybe it's because I used a template on this one, and I started with a blank one on the other one. I wonder if that has to do with it. Okay, so let's go back to our assignment and see what we've got done here. We have created a personal website, last name, put in, actually, have your name somewhere in the title. I'm not going to be fussy about that part. As long as I have a link to your site, I have a link to the web page, link to this Google document. Now it is time to submit the assignment. How am I going to submit the assignment? Does it say? Yes, it does. Paste the link to your personal website here. And now we need a link to this whole document so I can see that you've done all this. Well, how would I know you've done it? Well, link to this file is what I want in the submission. Remember how to get that link? Share, copy link. So this document, share, copy link. Now, let's go back to Schoology and submit the assignment. Share, copy link. Here, submit assignment. And I could put here, no upload, nothing to upload. Under the Create tab is where I can simply put the content, and in the Create tab I will put, here is the link to my shared Google Doc. Paste the link, and sadly it doesn't become a live link like you do when you're put in Google Documents. So I want to select that text and turn it into a link by clicking the little chain here, the inline link, and paste the URL there as well. And I do like to open link in new tab. Now when I save changes, that becomes a live link to my shared file. Notice how ugly that link is, but it doesn't matter. So if someone can copy paste that, or it's a live link, takes me there, and then I simply submit, and my assignment then shows up as my submitted assignment. If I ever want to see what I submitted, you can just click on that, and this is what your instructor will see when they come to grade your assignment. Oh, they did a great job. They made that a live link. Click on that. It takes me to their document, and then I can see.
Hey,
yes,
Fidelity.
created a link.
What's it cost to invest with the Fidelity app?
I don't know.
Start with as little as $1 with no account fees or trade commissions on U.S. stocks and ETFs.
Playing that video.
That's music to my ear.
Play a video for me. Like, who's going there? I thought it was getting hacked for a minute. So there's your document. To verify that you can see the document and the site, it doesn't hurt to go back. And this is what website testers do. Let's verify. Yeah, that takes me to the document. Let's verify that this takes me to my file. Yeah, that takes me to the file. Let's verify this takes me to the web page. Click. Yeah, that took me to the web page. And personal website. Yep, the website works. So verified that I have a document. It's there in my submission. My instructor will see this. It looks like even though, since I didn't upload a file, it looks like the comments I put in the upload don't appear anywhere. I thought they might appear somewhere, like, hey, no upload. But once you do the Create tab and submit, this is what your instructor sees. So that is your word processing in the cloud. Lots more you could do. They have features similar to Word references, just slightly different arrangement. But now you see the capabilities of the cloud and a little experience now with documents in the cloud. Remember, I can use my Google Drive to browse to what I just created. I can double click there to view it in my personal drive. If I ever want to turn off the sharing, I can come to Share, and I guess under here, Share, I can turn off sharing. Let's see, if I want to turn off sharing, I guess I could turn this to restricted, because that's one way to get there. Let's see, if I didn't want to publish it as a web page anymore, I have to come over here and Share, Publish to Web, and turn off publishing. There, I could stop publishing there. I have to find the stop publishing button if I ever decide, no, I don't want to link anymore. And one thing I'm curious about, if I turn it off and start publishing again, I am guessing the link here would change. I think it assigns a new random thing if I turn it off and then republish. So just to know, if you decided, wait a minute, that's an old website, I don't want it shown anymore, or the link to my document published as a web page, if I don't want to publish it anymore, there's how to stop publishing that. And remember, I can always adjust my restrictions if I decided, okay, I still want to publish it, but I only want certain people to see it. Notice with web pages, I can only restrict it to the organization. I don't have the options like you do with the document to restrict it to just special people. Here it's either Emmaus Bible College or the entire world. And there you have your Google Documents published. And I'm going to let you out early today since it's Friday. And if you have any questions, feel free.